Now I must go feed Lewis and Clark. I can hear them complaining all the way over here, and I've got a busy day ahead of me tomorrow. As she moved to leave, Stephen stepped in front of her. Before you go, he said, his voice firm, just listen. He turned to me. Say something, he instructed. Please, Tree, Samar pleaded. So Stephen and Samar are both asking Red to do what? Are both asking Red to do what? Right? They're both asking the tree to talk, and Red's made up his mind. What? He's not going to talk again, right? I kept silence. What more was there to say? Francesca looked from Stephen to Samar and back again. Children, she said, perhaps those video games you like to play have changed your brains. Talk, Tree, Stephen said. Silence. It can talk, Samar told Francesca. Real words. It told us a story about Maeve. Francesca, for just a moment, hesitated. She looked at me. You mean metaphorically, of course. The trees seemed to talk to you. The leaves whispered and so on. It told us about the hollow and the baby. Francesca blinked. The baby? Yes, Samar said, the abandoned baby. And again, Francesca paused. Of course, I've told you that family story before. You probably heard it from a neighbor. Stephen shook his head. He heard it from the tree. Oh my, said Francesca. She waved a hand in front of her face. You're wearing me out, you two. I'm so very glad my parenting days are behind me. Listen here. You get a good night's sleep, understand? Or maybe some counseling. As quick as she could, Francesca made her way across the lawn, her shoes caked with mud. Francesca, Stephen called. It's just a tree, dears. Repeat after me. It's just a tree. I was wondering if we could look for the diary. Do you remember what diary they're talking about? Yeah. Who has the key to the diary? Samar has the key on a ribbon. Samar tried to give the key back to Francesca, and she said, I don't need it, you keep it. But they want to find that diary. What would be in that diary?
All her secrets.
Kara?
All her secrets.
Her life story, right? Who wrote the diary?
Maeve.
Maeve, right? Her great-grandma. I was wondering if we could look for that diary. She glanced over her shoulder. Maeve's journal? Be my guest, if it's not underwater by now. She held up her palms. Just no more tree craziness. Do you hear? When Francesca was back in her house, Stephen and Samar looked at me accusingly. Why didn't you talk? Samar demanded. Because it was foolish. Because I wasn't supposed to. Because. Looking defeated, Stephen and Samar trudged away. They hadn't gone far when Samar paused and turned to Stephen. Something happened today, she said. People at school were being weird, talking about me, whispering, passing notes even. She narrowed her eyes. You didn't tell anyone, did you, about what happened last night? Of course not. Then I wonder what was going on. You're probably imagining things. I don't think so. I mean, I'm used to people talking about me and being mean, but this was different. Things aren't always as they seem, Stephen said sympathetically. Come on, let's go check out that shed. What are they looking for in the shed?
The diary.
Right? I watched the two of them head towards Samar's backyard. They were talking, laughing, and becoming friends, perhaps. Maybe I hadn't been so foolish after all. Trees don't sleep, not like people do or animals, but we do rest. Unfortunately, that night rest eluded me. I was filled with questions about the upcoming day, of course. But most of all, I didn't want to miss a moment of what was most of all, I didn't want to miss a moment of what little life I had left. I wanted to drink in the stars. I wanted to feel the fuzzy wings of the owlets. I wanted to stretch my roots and just a tiny bit farther before the night was through. I wanted to indulge in some quiet contemplation about life and love and what it all meant. So he wants to think about life, right? I wanted to philosophize, and that's basically like he wants to think and think about ideas. I've been thinking, I said to Bongo, there's no point in me worrying about tomorrow. It will come soon enough. Red, Bongo asked. Too much, wise old tree? Bongo paused. She looked at me for a long time. Never, she said. Never ever too much, wise old tree. Bongo settled onto home plate. The world was quiet and calm. Want to hear a tree joke, I asked? Is it funny? Probably not, I admitted. Then probably no. What's a tree's least favorite month?
Winter. May. Wishing season.
I don't know. What month?
Wishing spring.
Are you ready? I don't know. What month, says Bongo. September. I paused. Because you see, Red, Bongo interrupted. As always, no need to complain. What does timber mean? When do you hear timber? When do you hear timber? When a tree is being cut down, right? When a tree is cut down and someone says timber, it's like, get out of the way, right? Carol, please stop. We didn't speak much after that. Turned out I didn't need to talk about life or love or what it all meant. It was enough to watch the sky freckled with stars, to smell the sweet, wet earth, to listen to the beating hearts of little ones. I could keep safe at least for one more night. What does he mean he can keep them safe for one more night? Owen?
Like they could have them and make them.
What might happen tomorrow, friends? Tomorrow he might be cut down. So for one more night, he can be home to the animals, right? For one more night. Saturday morning dawned, clean and cool. Even before the sun made itself known, the animals and owls departed the safety of my limbs. Each family had found a new home, all nearby trees on the same block. Why did they go someplace else on May 1st? Why did the animals go someplace else on May 1st?
Because Red was going to get cut down.
No. Why does that, are all the animals, Carol, why do all the animals go someplace else on May 1st?
Because Red's not there and they want to go somebody else.
Nope. Why do the animals go somewhere else on May 1st, Wade?
Because it's too muddy and we don't want to see.
Good try. You guys are doing good. Umber Joe.
Wishes.
It's wishing day. What happens on wishing day?
Garbage.
Lots and lots of...
Wishes. Wishes. Garbage. Garbage.
Who puts the wishes on the trees? Raise your hand. Raise your hand, Umber Joe. Who puts the wishes on the tree? You said it. Who puts the wishes on the tree? People. So wishing day, there's please stop. There's lots and lots of people. So the animals all find a different home in a different tree close by, right? All right, we're going to stop right here.